Okay, so the first package is this one. I ripped off the address. So this is only my first time ordering from PangoBooks, and I got 4 things from 4 different sellers. So far I'm very happy with all of these books. They're in great shape. Okay, I got Twin Crowns, which is also for the book club I'm in, for over the summer. So this one I read over the summer. This one is for June, and then my other one that I have is Heartless something. I can't remember, but I will maybe include it. But it's just an audiobook, because so that I could read the other books I was already reading. Like, I'd like to finish Fourth Wing and Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison that I'm reading. Speaking of Rachel Harrison, I'm becoming very fond of her. I started getting her books in the Abominable Book Club subscription box I get. It's a horror thriller subscription box, and her books are so funny. They're creepy, they're hilarious, they're fast-paced. I love it. I cannot wait to get through this first one that I'm reading, which is Such Sharp, not for long periods of time, so I haven't got through it yet, but I intend to. Anyway, and so when I saw this on there for really cheap, with almost no flaws, for a hardback, or well, they used to call hardbacks, now they're just called hardcovers, but same thing. It sounds really, really good, and so I'm really happy with all the books I've gotten on PangoBooks. So it says, all her life, Annie has played it nice and safe after being unceremoniously dumped by her longtime boyfriend. Annie seeks a fresh start. She accepts a new teaching position and moves from Manhattan to a small village upstate. She's stunned by how perfect and prestige the town is. The people are all friendly and warm. Her new apartment is dreamy too, aside from the oddly persistent spider infestation. Ew. Then Annie meets Sophie, beautiful, charming, magnetic Sophie, who takes a special interest in Annie and wants to be her friend. More importantly, she wants Annie to stop apologizing and start living for herself. That's how she lives. Annie can't help but gravitate toward the self-possessed Sophie and starts to spend more and more time with her, despite the fact that the rest of the townsfolk seem a little afraid of her and like, okay, there are some things. Sophie's appearance is uncanny and ageless. Her mansion in the middle of the woods feels a little unearthly, and she does seem to wield a certain power, but she couldn't be, could she? Anyway, so this is like horror thriller, I think horror, but yeah, I got all of these for, I think it was $35 altogether, including shipping and taxes, and I had a $10 discount, so I think that's pretty good for 3 hardbacks that look pristine, and 1 soft cover that for a soft cover that was pre-owned looks amazing as well. They look brand new. Anyway, so I really like Pango. The shipping is amazing, especially compared to like eBay, Poshmark, all of that. This one is called Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, a novel. And then this part says, no good, no creature, no war can come between them. Sorry, the glitter, this stuff makes it hard to see that word. And also, I forgot to wear my glasses, sorry. Okay, so it says, after centuries of sleep, the gods are warring again. But 18-year-old Iris Winu just wants to hold her family together. Her mother is suffering from addiction and her brother is missing from the front lines. Her best bet is to win the columnist promotion at the Oath Gazette to combat her worries. Iris writes letters to her brother and slips them beneath her wardrobe door, where they vanish into the hands of Roman Kit, her cold and handsome rival at the paper. When he anonymously writes Iris back, the two of them forge a connection that will follow Iris all the way to the front lines of battle. For her brother, the fate of mankind in love. Divine Rivals is an epic enemies to lovers fantasy novel filled with hope and heartbreak and the unparalleled power of love. I actually, I was just scrolling through there and saw this, and I loved the cover, but of course you can't just judge a book by the cover. So I read it, and I thought it was really interesting. And so then we're going to talk about What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. I hope I pronounced that right. And then it says, a divine exploration, a deadly secret, a desire she can't escape. Okay, so this one says, and if I botch any names or pronunciations, I am so sorry. Bolivian-Argentinian Inez Oliveira, yeah, I think I said that right, belongs to the glittering upper society of 19th century Buenos Aires, and like the rest of the world, the town is steeped in old world magic that's been largely left behind or forgotten. Inez has everything a girl might want, except for one thing she yearns for the most: her globe-trotting parents who frequently leave her behind. When she receives word of their tragic deaths, Inez inherits their massive fortune in a mysterious garden. An archaeologist, in partnership with his Egyptian brother-in-law, yearning for answers, Inez sails to Cairo, bringing her sketch pads and a golden ring her father sent to her for safekeeping before he died. But upon her arrival, the old world magic tethered to the ring pulls her down a path where she discovers there's more to her parents' disappearance than what her guardian led her to believe. With her guardian's infuriatingly handsome assistant thwarting her at every turn, Inez must rely on ancient magic to uncover the truth about her parents' appearance, or risk becoming a pawn in a larger game that will kill her. The Mummy meets death on the Nile in this lush, immersive historical fantasy filled with adventure, rivals to lovers, romance, and shocking twists and turns. So, this one sounds amazing. It sounds very interesting. And in my reading group on Discord, we get to vote on which books we would like to read. And this is one I voted for, and I'm really happy about it because I love all things ancient Egypt. Well, not all things, but that's been a lifelong obsession, is Egypt for me. Okay, and the last one we have is Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Weber. And up here it just says, I was thoroughly bewitched by this marvelous book. Don't miss it. Sarah J. Maas, #1 New York Times bestselling author. I don't know who that is, but that's okay. And then back here to me, 2 princesses, 1 throne. What could go wrong? Rin Greenrock has always known that one day she'd steal her sister's place on the throne. Trained from birth to return to the palace and avenge her parents' murder, she'll do anything to become queen and protect the community of witches who raised her. Or she would if only a certain guard wasn't quite so distractingly attractive, and if her reckless magic would stop causing trouble. Please ignore my dogs. Princess Rose Valhart knows that with power comes responsibility, and she won't let a small matter like waking up in the desert with an impertinent and very handsome kidnapper get in the way of her duty. But life outside the palace is wilder and more beautiful than she ever imagined, and the witches she has long feared might turn out to be the family she never had. But as coronation day looms and each sister strives to claim her birth, an old enemy becomes increasingly determined that neither will succeed. Who will ultimately rise to power and wear the crown? I cannot wait to read this. It sounds so good. So, yeah, overall, these all sound amazing. I think it was a great deal. Bye, everyone.